Hello, how's it going?
Oh, hey, it worked.
It did. How are things?
They're good. Nothing new, hanging out at
Th-
home.
There's not much going on right now.
No. There's, I feel like everything that was going on was canceled, so
I know.
just
It is
hanging out.
just, yeah, just hanging out a little bit. I mean, you know what? And it's funny because the Worlds was like one of the first events too that kind of got the axe, right?
Yeah,
Which
like we were kind of like, man, this sucks. Like they would never do that to a men's event or, like this just like it's the first one to go and you're like, was it really necessary? And now you're like,
it was like the first
yeah,
like event to go, right?
yeah. Now it's like the whole world is actually shut down.
Um, but you know what? You're keeping busy. You're doing. I know you're doing the with Megan Chika. You're doing like a staffleets thing after this.
Yes,
That's
tonight.
gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, like there's some really cool people on it. So, I mean, I'm excited just to see. I don't know if we're actually talking about stats. I think we're talking more about what we're doing and kind of women's hockey. But I mean, I think stats is such a big deal in the game now. And just being able to have that info, it's not only helping, coaches and teams, but it's also helping players.
Oh, absolutely. So it's like an interactive thing. So you've done
Well,
Instagram lives before, right?
oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not that
So
many, but this is cool.
no, absolutely. So well, there's a good amount of people kind of coming in right now. If you guys have any questions for Natalie Spooner, she'll be happy to answer them. I hope. Does this count as like a Popternative appearance? Like, can we count this as like your fourth time? Because that means you'd be a fourth timer, which is
That would
nuts.
be a lot. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it counts. I don't
And you've
know.
never been on like one on one. You've always been on a panel.
Was my first one not one on one?
No, it wasn't. It was with my friend Rachel Schwartz, who does the social media for the
Yeah.
Islanders, and
Yes, yes, yes.
we sang Arthur songs.
Yeah, totally.
And then the second one, you did it with Aaron Ambrose.
Yes. Okay.
And then
Yes. This is the first one-on-one claiming it now.
yeah, and then like we did one recently after the All Star.
Yes. That was with Turnbull, Johnny, and
Yeah,
Renee. We had a good
yeah.
group.
No, it
Yeah.
was really, really cool. Um, and you know what? That was a really cool event, and there was a lot of I think a lot of people were talking about that. I think the criticisms too, though, that I saw that it was like it wasn't long enough, and people wanted it to be longer. I'm sure you would all agree with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it did seem to go by really quick. We only had three lines of three, so we were actually like second win because you're up and down the ice, and we wanted to obviously play at a high level. But yeah, we would have loved to play a third period. I think it would have been so much fun. I mean, that stage was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so the questions are coming in right now, so
Okay.
we gotta answer them. So Angela Costa is asking, what made you get into hockey? Why did you start it?
Okay. I had three older brothers. So actually, it's like a funny story. My parents are from England and they came to Canada and they knew nothing about hockey at all. Like, my dad was a rugby player in England and he came over and he was like, my kids aren't playing any contact sports because he had like so many concussions and dislocated shoulders. So he put everyone into soccer. So, like, my oldest brother started with soccer, but every kid in Canada that plays soccer also plays hockey, or like, so summer sport was soccer, winter sport was hockey, and we just kind of all followed suit, playing both of those sports, and yeah, just kept playing, and I followed them, and now I am here.
Very
Better than
cool. How many times do you train to be such a great hockey player? So what's your like? So yeah, what's your workout routine like?
Yeah, so it kind of depends like where we are in the season. So kind of beginning of the season, or I guess summer training, which will be starting soon. We had a little bit of a break, like off season, I guess you can call it, if we even had that kind of. So we'd probably be training about 5 times a week in the gym, and then probably around mid-June we'll get back on the ice, maybe even beginning of June, just doing some skills. And then July, August, get back into some tempo, and then September we'll have camps, and then season starts mid-September, early October. And then in season, it kind of depends what your week looks like with games. This season was a little bit different, just with the Dream Gap Tour and kind of not being so consistent. So you tried to get in 5 workouts a week. Sometimes it might only be 3. Just making sure whatever your body needs. And then we'd be on the ice 5 or 6 times a week, normally have one day off.
So it's a lot, is
It's
what
a
you're
lot.
saying.
Yeah. It's good though. It's fun.
How,
Now it's like, now I'm like itching. I'm like, hey, let's go back on
yeah,
the
I
ice.
know. Let's go. Are you set up though, like at home for like a little home gym at all, or?
Yeah. So, pretty lucky. Like I got to go on that show, Save My Reno, and they redid my laundry
That's
room area.
right.
Gym.
I
So
remember you
I
posted
have a
about
home
that.
gym, which is nice. So I got some weights and all that, a treadmill, a bike.
That's
Um,
good.
but I've been
It's
trying to get outdoors too and do some like different kind of training. The beginning of off season, you just try to do some different sports and stuff like that. So, whether it's going for a run or a rollerblade, doing some yoga, some barbell classes, all
yeah.
these types of
Well,
things.
well, I've set up. I mean, it's crazy what you could do with two 20-pound dumbbells. Like I've like online, like there's so many. I do like this like full body workout with two like 20-pound dumbbells, and it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I tried this like it's kind of like a dance workout, like called barbell or barbell bar.
Oh,
Um, and they had the latest weight I had, but you're holding your arms like, oh, use 3 pounds, and I was like, oh, I can use 5, and like my arms were on fire. So like if you can do that with 5 pounds, like you could do it really with anything. Like eventually I went to holding water bottles.
really?
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Um,
you hold it long enough, it's gonna burn.
this has to kind of do with your the dancing a little bit. Someone's asking how you're enjoying your budding TikTok stardom.
How it started?
How are you enjoying it?
Oh, I'm enjoying it, but it's hard. Like people are really good at TikTok dance. I kind of picked the easy ones, and now I'm looking. Today I've been walking around the house and going, "I'm a savage." Bougie, something, and like my fiance looks at me and goes, you're walking around calling yourself a savage and calling yourself bougie. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the song is just stuck in my head from watching the girls dances trying to learn it, and I can't even get close to it.
I
It's gonna be a
know.
few days.
Did you see Kevin Bieksa? Did you
Yes.
see yeah, the wow you could really dance? That was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I think I need someone to do that with me. I don't think my fiance's into the
Yeah, I was about to
so
say
I'll
maybe
being both people.
um my friend Katie McCaffrey, she's a pretty good hockey player. She says, how was Battle of the Blades?
Ooh, Battle Blades was fun. It was pretty crazy. Like I'd never figure skated before or been on figure. So at first, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to do this." Like I was face planting. I had bruises like all up my elbows, all down my knees, just from like falling over so much. But once you kind of got the hang of the toe picks and the skating, then it was really fun because you got to try some cool moves, and you obviously practice them off the ice first and then go on the ice. But it was a pretty like grueling schedule with that because I was still playing hockey at the same time. So we were on the ice for like 3 or 4 hours a day, plus an hour of off ice like lifting, which was not like weightlifting; it was like lifting each other. And then plus I was going to hockey practice at night and trying to get in my workouts for hockey. So it was a pretty crazy 3 4 months, but I wouldn't change it. It was so much fun. I had a blast, and I had a great partner who was amazing at figure skating. And by the end, I was like, okay, I'm not so bad at this. Like I feel like like maybe I could do this. And I watched him go back and skate with his real partner. I'm like, wow, I suck. I'm not good.
Man, I'm trying to keep up with all these comments and questions. It's pretty crazy.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people in here. Someone says, my niece did puck drop at the last event and received a gift from Bauer. She's taking your camp. You're a great example for young girls.
Oh, nice. That must have been at the Toronto showcase. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
awesome.
Um, someone says you're awesome, Spooner. You're an amazing hockey player. Just getting all this love.
I love you guys too.
Natalie is the GOAT. How did you get noticed for hockey? Actually, that's something I've asked you before. Like, what was, yeah, like, how did you, like, yeah, how did that all start with, like, the women's national program and everything?
Yeah, so it's kind of, I guess it's kind of a weird process in a sense. Like you come up playing for your club team, and then the main thing I would say that you have to do is try out for Team Ontario.
Mhm.
So I tried out for Team Ontario, I think like a year or two before I even made the team. So, and then I made the team for 3 years. It was the under 18 team. So I made it when I was 15, 16, 17.
Yep.
I got to play at the Canada Winter Games and then 2 national championships, which was so much fun. And then my last year with the under 18 team Ontario was when they announced there was going to be an under 18 team Canada team. So they would scout that from the nationals. And then I made the under 18 team Canada team. And then you just kind of stay on their radar. I went up through university and made the under 22 team through that. And then while I was still in university, I ended up making the senior team in 2011. So you can play on like all 3 teams if you're good enough, or you can kind of work your way
Yeah, I
up.
was about to say, are you able to dabble in all of
Yeah,
them?
for sure. And I mean, there's also some players that might not make the under 18 team, but in university become really good and join just the under 22 team or just the senior team, which is really cool too. That like you're not fully out of it if you don't play on the under 18 team. Like I was lucky that I just kind of worked my way up, but there are players that peak later and can make the team later.
Absolutely. Are you still singing with Tessa Bonham?
You know what? We were just talking about this yesterday about how we should get the teaspoons back up and running for some Instagram live or something. It's been a while. I probably need to warm up my voice because I haven't sang in a while, but we're looking at some songs to possibly make it come back with.
Absolutely. Who is your favorite person to play with?
Oh,
That's a good one.
that's good. That's a really good one. I mean, I've played with so many amazing players. Like right now, I probably get to play the most with Sarah Nurse,
Hmm.
which is a lot of fun. My first Olympics, I got to play with Wickenheiser and Augusta, and just
Whoa.
first Olympics and that whole experience, they really kind of took me under their wing and made sure that I was comfortable there. So I have to say, them for sure are probably at the top of my list just because of the whole experience and winning and just knowing what it did for me in my career and helping me along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was we talk about it all the time. I mean, like Vancouver, I mean, and Sochi. And specifically like Sochi though, like that game was just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of people think of the Sochi game and the comeback, and they're like, "Wow, this wasn't just an amazing hockey game. It was probably one of the best hockey games they've ever seen."
Oh yeah.
Um, and you could probably also just watch the last 4 minutes and be like on the edge of your seat. And
I will say, not the I will say this though, okay? So not the result Team Canada wanted, but that Pyeongchang gold medal game was like one of the best hockey games I've ever seen. Like that
yeah,
overtime was like some of the best hockey I've ever seen in my life. I'm telling you.
yeah, it sucks to like lose in a shootout because I don't know if a game should
But
ever
do you
be,
agree with me though that overtime was crazy?
but it was a really good game. Yeah, I mean, all of our games against the U.S. they're so close. They're like the games we love playing.
Did
But
you see Ty
our,
Domi went on? Ty Domi did an interview. He was talking about women's hockey, and he basically did you see that interview? And he was talking about how like important it is for everyone to support and watch women's hockey. And he was talking like, did you ever see that interview? Pardon me.
who was it? Who was it
Ty
that did?
Ty Ty Domi.
Yes, I did see it. I did see it.
And
Yeah,
I agree. I have to tell you, I agree with him 100%. But I feel like it's one of those things where like I've always watched it, right?
yeah.
Like since I was a kid, like I remember, the days with, Wickenheiser.
Well, didn't I first meet you at the Clarkson Cup in Ottawa?
I did, yes. I was helping out
Yeah,
with media relations there,
yeah.
yes.
So like, because there's a lot of people I think that say they watch women's hockey and really they're only watching the Olympics.
Oh no,
Um,
not me. I watched
yeah,
the
you know what I mean.
worlds.
It's like it's about the 4 years in between, and if we would have had all these people that say they support women's hockey supporting a league, we may have still had a league.
What year was it? It was the World Championships. You guys won in overtime. Caroline Ouellette scored in overtime. Were
2011,
you on that team?
I was.
That was a sick
2012,
hot because you guys were
2011, we lost 2012.
you guys were losing in that game though.
So 2012 Worlds 2 was crazy. This is
Yes.
like a pretty good story. So this was my second World Championships in Vermont on U.S. home soil. First round robin game against the U.S. We lost something like 9-1. Like we
Okay.
got blown out. Like it
Yes,
was,
I remember that.
and so I remember I was pretty young on the team still, like my second year on the team, but Wick came up to me and she's like, we need to get something to get the girls going. We ended up doing a flash mob to Sexy and I Know It during one of the dinners. Literally. And then we just like talked it out and we played amazing after that. And we came back and we ended up winning in overtime to win that world championships. It was really like the World Juniors, how they got blown out, came back to win. It's a pretty similar story, other than we had Sexy and I Know It in there.
Well, I was really excited for the world this year. I mean, with all this COVID, I mean, it's but I saw watching the rivalry series and then seeing. I mean, people got a really big taste at the All Star because like the players in that game were like, as Rene Debier, like, can we talk about like that performance? That was one of the best goaltending performances I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It was nuts.
Goalies now, like goalies in women's hockey are so good.
But like you guys weren't surprised though. Like you know what she could bring to the table,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you weren't surprised with that performance at all, right?
No, but I like after that I was like, wow, like because 3-on-3 is really hard for goalies, especially if there's odd man rushes and it's going laterally. And she was getting across that net and making those saves. And we had a long day that day, so she was on, which was awesome.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm catching up here. Oh, Team Canada saying what up? Team Canada saying hi, Nat.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
hey.
so here's a question I want to ask. I asked Charles Hamley this question, and I'm having Piper, the ice dancer, Piper Gillies. Yeah, I'm having her on a little after. I'm gonna ask her this question. You're a Winter Olympic athlete, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the decision for Canada not to go to the Summer Olympic Games. I kind of like two parts. Like one, what's your opinion on that whole front as an Olympic athlete? And two, I know it will be kind of bittersweet, and they're training for this all their lives and everything. But I mean, it was the right decision with like the safety and everything. You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, at first, when we didn't really know what the coronavirus was, what was happening, I think it was really scary for those athletes, to be told to be locked in your house and you're like, well, where am I supposed to go now? And the Olympics are coming up. So, I think that Team Canada really took a leadership on that and saying that they weren't going to send their athletes. And as an athlete, I'm sure they were heartbroken in some sense because they were training. And when you're training for the Olympics, your schedule is so set and you're so regimented that they have like a plan. Like we would even practice like as if we had games leading up to the gold medal game, and it would be like you would be walking this far now because this is the opening ceremonies.
Yeah, but the
So
the one, yeah, okay, yeah,
so like that's what I mean. Like they were probably training for this. So it is probably heartbreaking for them to know and to wonder, but at the same time, this is something way bigger than the Olympics, way bigger than sport. Like
yes,
health we're talking about. So you have to understand that and to know that it's at least, getting moved to 2021. I'm sure it's still, it's going to be an awesome Olympics and the same athletes get to go. They qualified, they get to stay qualified. So I think in that sense, just to know that everyone will be safe and that they'll get to have it later, I think is something really special. I was thinking, man, they should just have a super Olympics with like summer and winter. How cool would that be?
oh no, for sure, like a hybrid,
The
100%.
first ever super Olympics.
That would be kind of cool. More questions coming in. Have you ever worked out with Caroline Prevost?
Yes, she's on my Toronto Furies team. She's a beast. She's crazy. She's the fittest woman in Canada. She
Hmm.
won the cross or came 10th in the CrossFit Games around there. So, yeah, I can't do half the workouts she does because I can't do a muscle up or any of that stuff.
And
She's
how
not.
how do you deal with stress during big moments, big games?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think, well, breathing, first of all, but I think also when you practice so much and you play so many games, you really try to just think of it as another game and think like, wow, I've played thousands and thousands of hockey games, and this is just another one that I need to go out and do what I know I can do and what I can bring to the team, and kind of not picture it as being, I'm at the Olympics and there's all these people watching me and there's so much pressure. I think just really embracing it and knowing that you've prepared your whole life really for it and you've kept improving and it's brought you to this moment. And I think, growing up, my mom was the person who always said, like, if I was going into a test, if I was going on the ice, she'd always be like, just go out there and do your best. That's the best that you can do. Like in that moment, whatever is your best, that's the best you're going to do. And I think that really stuck with me. So I really just go into every situation trying to be the best that I can be and do the best that I can do.
No, absolutely. And so, I think you've answered this, but someone was asking, like, at what age did you start playing hockey?
Oh, around 4. So I played 1 year boys hockey at 4 and I quit, and then I got into girls hockey.
And someone's asking, what was it like being on HGTV?
Yeah, that was my home reno show. It
Yes.
was, I mean, I think home renovations can be like pretty stressful. So they got it done pretty quick, which was awesome. Kind of takes a little bit of the stress away, but I mean, it is always weird having some people in your house and renovating and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it went smooth, and we love the space. I love the gym. I love the laundry room. So
Hmm.
it was a success.
Absolutely. We will wrap this up soon. Because like I said, you have a staffleets thing that you're doing soon, so we got to prepare for that. I also have a bunch of lives tonight as well. We have room for time for a couple more questions, guys. So get them in right now. There's been a lot of people on this broadcast, Spoons.
Awesome.
I'm 2 for 2 with Spooners on my podcast because Ryan Spooner's also been
I
on it.
saw the other day that he was on.
Yes, he's playing in the Well, he was playing in the KHL this year,
Okay.
so
Nice.
he was playing in Belarus. But yeah, I remember at the Clarkson Cup. I think I just came up to you and just like introduced myself, and I was like, I was asking you, I'm like, how many times do people ask if Ryan Spooner is your brother? And you were like, I remember this story. You were like, the cab driver that brought me over here literally asked me that.
Yes, so many people ask me that.
And it's weird too because I know you both as well. I find that's what I find funny too. Like it
So
got
just
brought.
come up with like a story how we're like long lost relatives and something, but no, I've never actually met him.
There's a couple questions that came in here, so maybe we could do like a bit of like a speed round, like they're very quick questions. I mean, what are you binging on Netflix right now?
Ooh, oh, well, I'm done all the shows. I did watch Cheer. I watched the Tiger King.
Tiger
I
King
watched
is
the
crazy.
movie Lost Girls.
Hmm.
That was the latest one I watched.
Hmm. Um,
What else?
what's your
Yeah,
favorite hockey memory?
winning in Sochi.
Yep.
For
Who's your favorite hockey team in the NHL?
I like the Leafs too. I mean, I grew up in Toronto. I got to be a Leafs fan.
Very cool. And um, let's see. There's one more question here. Did I miss it? Oh, this is a good one. Favorite country you visited while playing hockey?
While playing hockey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough because there's been a lot of cool ones like Switzerland, Germany. We used to go to quite a lot. Um, I loved it there, like just the Alps and like snow on the mountains. Um, where else? I mean, Pyeongchang was cool. Like they were so advanced. Like when you would get in the elevator, if you pushed the wrong floor, well, first of all, when you went into like your condo building, it would automatically call your floor and know what floor you were on from your key. And if you pushed the wrong button by accident, you could unpush it.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's like the simplest thing, but it was just like, wow, these people have thought.
Did you watch a little bit of the World Juniors this year?
I did.
Like Ostrava, like Czech Republic, looked like the most craziest place to like watch hockey. Like it was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see like the area much, but there's some cool places. I feel like most of the places you go are cold though.
Yeah.
Um,
Can
but
you
yeah,
very quickly, can you give a shout out to a adult hockey team called Bag of Pucks?
bag of pucks.
Yes.
Hey, bag of pucks. Good luck when you get back playing.
um,
Funny.
guys, thank you guys for tuning into this. This was really interactive and awesome. Thank you for your questions, Spooner. It's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Yes, thanks for having me on. This is fun.
Yeah,
Stay
absolutely.
a little bit because it's just, so busy now.
I know, I know it's not much fun. There's plenty of time in the world apparently, but thank you so much, everyone. Spooner, good luck with your staff leads thing,
Yes, thank you.
and thank you everyone for your questions. See you
Bye.
guys. Bye.